Some potentially major news as we are learning new information about TNA's top stars, when their contracts will expire, and when we could expect them to be in WWE. All of this while their talent exchange between NXT and TNA is not stopping anytime soon. We're going to tell you everything we know about this. Also, we're going to get into Kevin Owens' contract status, a blockbuster update in that saga. We're going to talk about it. Is Owens headed to AEW or is he staying with WWE? All that and much more coming up right here in this video. So be sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. All right. So obviously there has been a lot of talk about this talent exchange between NXT and TNA. TNA has had many of their top stars, including Jordynne Grace and Joe Hendry, appear on NXT TV sporadically, defend titles, compete for titles, and they have been largely prominent figures on NXT television over the last couple of months. Well, we are learning new information courtesy of reporting from FightfulSelect.com about their contracts. Now, we are going to start with someone that we all believe in. His name, say it, and he appears, is Joe Hendry. Fightful Select reported the following about his status, quote, "Those that we've spoken to in TNA say that Hendry looks to be a focal point in their show in 2025, despite the buzz and attention going towards Hendry and the Royal Rumble today. TNA sources also claim that Hendry's contract with the company runs at least until late 2025. Joe Hendry, of course, has taken the entire WWE universe by storm over the last couple of months. Say his name, and he appears. That is the catchphrase. That's the smile. How can you not love it? He sings his own song, has a top hit. Dude has charisma out the wazoo, and he is someone who is perfect at this point in time for WWE and their product. And whether it's, the Royal Rumble, which, look, say what you want. This talent exchange has gone on for a while. I think TNA understands where they fall into the pecking order. This is not the Dixie Carter era of TNA where, they're like, well, we're at the same level. We'll beat them all. Do. This is not that TNA. This is a TNA that completely understands that they are a distant fourth or fifth or third or fourth best wrestling company in the United States at this point. And for that reason, for them, even for the short-term benefit, it is a good thing to get their stars like Joe Hendry, like Jordynne Grace, stars who hold their belts, stars who will likely compete for their belts in the case of Joe Hendry, to be at the forefront on WWE television and get that exposure, because that then spurs the question, well, where can I see more of Joe Hendry immediately? Where can I see more of Jordynne Grace immediately? That allows you an opportunity when those new eyeballs come in, when the buzz about TNA is as loud as it's ever been. That allows you to put a focal point on the rest of your roster. With these new eyeballs coming in, all right, people who are going to be here as well, let's showcase them. Let's do some business in the meantime. And a guy like Joe Hendry, I'm telling you, late 2025, when his deal is up, this dude is going to get a monster push in NXT. I think he is not only going to, at not only the point where he's going to win the title, I think at that point, that dude is going to be like, the sky's the limit for him, is what I will say. I'm not going to put expectations on him that are, may or may not be realistic. I think he could be a main eventer in WWE. He's always had that potential. If you go back and listen to the buzz about him during the early days of WCPW, like, Joe Hendry was all over that product. Joe Hendry was all over the promotion for that product. And to see him over the past decade rise in the way that he has just been delightful. Like, he is one of the most charismatic and engaging wrestling stars in the world right now. And seeing him potentially succeed at that highest level in WWE would be an amazing, amazing thing for a fan. For me, Omer Q is a fan to witness. On the flip side, you of course have the Knockouts Women's Champion Jordynne Grace, who has made, again, sporadic appearances in NXT and even competed in the Royal Rumble, being one of the surprise entries in last year's Rumble. Here's what Fightful Select has reported about her contract status. Quote, Jordynne Grace's TNA contract was originally set to expire in the summer of 2025, but she had it amended to expire in January. And last I checked, people, it's October. We only have a couple of more months. I fully expect when her contract is over, when that deal is done, when she has dropped that belt, Jordynne Grace will be in WWE. And that could be on the NXT brand as the focal point of that show. Maybe she's the one to take the belt off of Roxanne Perez. But I could also see her just going up to the main roster, mainly because she's ready. And she has ready-built feuds on that roster. Some stemming from her appearance in last year's Royal Rumble, but also a big feud between herself and Naomi, who obviously competed as Trinity Fatu in TNA, was the TNA Knockouts World Champion last year before she ended up going back to WWE. So there's an untold story, or unfinished business rather, between those two there that you can kind of try to, resurface and talk about and expose people who may not have seen their rivalry in TNA. Like, that is something that you can do. And we're talking about two people who, when they came in to NXT in Jordynne Grace and Joe Hendry, they made that splash. They made the feeling of watching that show special in a way that it hadn't been in years. And for them to be able to do that, it speaks obviously to their own acumen. It speaks to their own ability, their own talent, but it also speaks to the level that TNA has risen to. A couple of years ago, we would not be saying this about Total Nonstop Action. We would not be saying this about the product formerly known as Impact Wrestling. Yet here we are, and it's almost like the rehabilitation and the resurrection of TNA has come full circle, where it's a brand that is cool again. It is a brand that has that interest, has that buzz. They just had their largest crowd in years out in Quebec. They are red hot. They're doing well. And I think that the potential of having Jordynne Grace and Joe Hendry, at least through the next couple of months in the case of Jordynne Grace, and then Hendry really be your top guy for the year in 2025 before he likely leaves, that is going to propel them and set them up for success down the line. But we'll obviously see what happens. There's more to this story, and there's more that's going to develop, and there's also more that I have for you in the shape and form of $20 off using the promo code RealTake. Y'all knew it was coming. If you guys are going to a wrestling show, if you guys are going to a concert, if you guys are going to a football game, MLB, NBA, whatever you're doing, I have a deal for you. Sign up with SeatGeek and you get $20 off your first purchase. That's right, $20 free off your first purchase using the promo code RealTake when you sign up for SeatGeek using the link in the description. You can sign up. It takes just a second, and boom, you put in that promo code, you get $20 off. That not only helps you get and save money, but also get tickets to potentially your favorite wrestling show, whether it's WWE, AEW, whatever. You can go and you can probably spend $20 more on popcorn. SeatGeek is an amazing app. They offer you the ability to see your tickets on a 1 to 10 scale, so you know exactly the type of deal you're getting. It is an industry leader in all these ticketing apps, so I highly recommend you guys go check it out. Download it today. Get $20 off using the promo code RealTake. All right, let's move on and talk about the big-time story that everyone wants to know. Kevin Owens, what the hell is going on with his contract status? It had been reported and speculated that his contract was set to expire in Q1 of 2025. Well, that is the case, but we are now learning new information courtesy of WrestleVotes. Here is an aggregation of a WrestleVotes story. WrestleOps quotes WrestleVotes saying Kevin Owens is very close to signing a new deal with WWE. This comes as speculation is running rampant about him potentially joining All Elite Wrestling, joining some of his best friends in the Young Bucks, Adam Cole, Bebe, and others in that company, refreshing the Kevin Owens character, something that I have said that I expect Owens to do. It looks like it isn't happening anymore, and he will likely, at least according to WrestleVotes, who I might add is a very good source when it comes to WWE. I would say for WWE stories outside of Fightful, WrestleVotes is your guy. He gets all of like these scoops. He posts them on his page. He is very, very well sourced when it comes to WWE. So when he says something, I know to take it seriously. So it seems like Owens and WWE are close to a deal here. And if that is the case, I think we could very well have seen a Drew McIntyre situation develop here because, you know, it was kind of speculated that Owens was not going to be re-signing and that, you know, he was likely going to explore what was out there. That would not seem to be happening if this is true. And if that is true, then that not only proves me wrong, but it also proves, I think, this conventional wisdom wrong that, you know, if someone isn't doing the best work in WWE at the time, then, well, they're automatically going to go to the competitor. They're all automatically going to go to WWE. And the WWE isn't willing to spend money on these talent. I think for top-tier talent, it is clear, whether you're Damian Priest, Finn Balor, or Seth Rollins or others, or Kevin Owens in this case, they're going to spend the money to get you. No matter what, no matter how much they want to make the budget work or trim the fat, whatever they want to say, they're going to make it work because they understand not only from a perception situation how it's going to impact them to see like a top star, a former world champion in Kevin Owens, leave the company and go join AEW and give them a lot of buzz at a time where, you know, like they are telling amazing stories and they just signed this mega deal and the pendulum could be swinging back in their direction. They don't want that. And they also don't want the perception to be that WWE cannot afford to keep its big stars. That is why I think you are going to see a concerted effort to keep these guys around. And it also speaks to me that WWE must have offered Kevin Owens a bag, an undeniable bag. And if that's true, we'll see what happens. One thing I will point out is Owens is in the midst of a story with Cody Rhodes. And, you know, it does seem like they are doing something interesting here. I don't know whether it's taking the belt off of Owens, and maybe that's like kind of like an enticing figure here, like getting that extra, you know, accomplishment on his belt or notch in his belt, for lack of a better term. But we'll see. We know that, you know, the Punk stuff and the way that story ended up rolling out was a large portion or a large reason, why Drew McIntyre ended up staying with WWE. Perhaps we have a similar situation here with Kevin Owens. We will find out one day, but Kevin Owens for right now looks to be staying with WWE, close to re-signing at least. It is not confirmed. We will see if it indeed ends up being the case that he has officially re-signed, but as of right now, he's close. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think, though. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your comments, your chats, your opinions, all the stuff in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think about Kevin Owens potentially staying with WWE. Would you rather see him in AEW? Also, what do you guys think about Joe Hendry and Jordan Grace potentially leaving TNA for WWE? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, be sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. And until next time, be happy, be healthy, and as always, keep it real.